Welcome to one of the most popular locations in the Canadian Rockies. We are in Jasper. Over the next couple of days, we're going to be exploring some of the best things to do here to see what this beautiful mountain town is all about. Today we're going to go on a boat cruise on Maligne Lake. It's about an hour away from Jasper Town and it's a beautiful area. We're going to go for a 35-minute cruise along the lake to Spirit Island. We're going to spend some time there and then come back, and the views are supposed to be spectacular.
You can see those mountains behind you, Shad.
Like the most ridiculous view ever. Look how pretty it is.
Welcome to the Leader Beaver here at Maligne Lake in Jasper National Park. How's everybody doing today?
We're traveling for about 35 minutes to an island called Spirit Island, where we'll actually get to go off the boat and spend about 50 minutes on there, which is really exciting. And the views so far have been absolutely incredible. The tour guide is telling us loads of information about the area, the history, the geography. It's really interesting and the views are honestly just outstanding. There's people canoeing as well, a lot on this lake, which I think will be an amazing activity to do as well.
We've just passed through the Narrows, and this area acts like a natural bottleneck, so it kind of like holds all the glacial silt in the area, which gives the colour of the water right here this crazy rich turquoise colour.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's chalky. We have to explore the island. So behind me is Spirit Island. We can't actually go onto Spirit Island itself because it's a sacred island for the indigenous, but you can go on the larger area connected to it. It's like a little peninsula really, the island. So we have an incredible view. As you can see, the water is this turquoisey blue kind of chalky colour. They said that they wouldn't recommend drinking it because it can have a laxative effect. I'm not going to do that anyway, but it just looks gorgeous to be on the water today. And the view behind me is absolutely spectacular. There's a story about it. I think it was a lady who named the lake. She saw that view and she said this is where all the gods of all the different religions would come and have a meeting. They would each perch upon the mountain and talk, hence why it's called the Hall of Gods.
Every god from every religion were to have a meeting. They would meet here with each mountain being their throne.
And you can just see what she means. It's just out of this world.
The horn has been blown. That means it's time to get back to the boat, and we're going to cruise for 35 minutes back to the lake centre. Now they do have a bunch of amenities down here. There's gift shop, cafe, there's even a waffle house. So if you want to get some food before or after your cruise, you can do that too.
One of the top things to do here in Jasper is to go to the top of Whistler's Mountain, and you can get up there with the famous Jasper SkyTram. So we're going to jump on this and climb all the way to the top for a scenic view.
Maybe it wasn't meant to be, just like in a dream.
How's that?
I just didn't look. That was very scary. Once you reach the top, you can go and just enjoy the views. There's a cafe, or you can do the 1.2 kilometre hike up to the summit of the mountain we're on. There's also lots of hiking trails around here. I think you can even hike from the bottom to the top. It takes over 6 kilometres and it's probably pretty strenuous. But you can cheat and get the SkyTram. I loved how there was a guide on the SkyTram telling you lots of information, so it made the 7.5-minute journey go super fast if you're a little bit nervous of heights like me, because I'm gonna be honest, it was a bit scary. It was cool that you could just listen to him and get all the information that took your mind off things. But the view is incredible, and you can see to Jasper all of the mountain range, and it makes Jasper look so small. We can see the campsite that we were staying at tonight. We woke up this morning surrounded by a family of elk. It was incredible. That's the Whistler's campground where we had our RV, and it's such an awesome spot.
So when you book your SkyTram at the bottom, they actually give you a return time slot as well, and I believe this one coming up right now is ours.
I'm going back down. It's much quicker than walking, but it's a little bit scary for people like me who are scared of heights. They've been on so many gondolas across Canada, I swear, jeez. Exposure therapy. One of the best day trips you can do from Jasper is to the Columbia Icefields. We are booked on a really fun tour. We're going to take a crazy Columbia Ice Explorer truck with massive wheels over to the glacier itself, and then we're going to get off and walk on the glacier, and then we're going to go to the skywalk, which hangs 280 meters over the valley below us. This is going to be a very exciting day.
We have to take a shuttle bus to the actual on ice big wheel bus. We're going to head up and down towards where the glacier is, and then switch buses for the big scary one. Okay, we're going down the steepest road in North America
Like I said, I will not be tall. But be sure to check out the amazing views.
Yeah, I think it used to be 42 degrees, 42%, but they've changed the gradient because of an accident a few years ago. Everyone's holding their breath.
As a full-time travel couple who bank in Australia, payment is always something we keep an eye on. There's always random fees like ATM fees, bank fees, exchange fees when we're making payments overseas. So for this trip, we downloaded one app to save some Australian dollars. Hey Aussies, if you're watching, listen up. One thing we always have to think about when travelling internationally is how we're actually going to spend our Australian dollars once we arrive. And that's where YouTrip comes in. YouTrip is a multi-currency wallet that lets you spend overseas with mate rates and zero foreign exchange fees in more than 150 countries. You can exchange and lock in your money directly in the app with up to 10 wallet currencies available, which is especially handy if you see a good exchange rate before your trip and want to lock it in for later. Then when you're actually travelling, you can use your YouTrip card just like a debit card, or use the virtual card for online payments. You can also add it to Apple Pay or Google Pay, so you can simply tap your phone when you're out and about. And if you need cash, YouTrip gives you free ATM withdrawals up to 1,500 Australian dollars per calendar month, with a 2% fee applying after that. Plus, for the first 5 months, you can earn 2% cashback on foreign currency spending, capped at 40 Australian dollars. Getting started is pretty simple too. Just download the YouTrip app, complete the identity check in around 3 minutes, and you can start using your virtual card straight away while your physical card is being delivered. So if you're planning an overseas trip, check out YouTrip before you go. We'll put a link in the description below. And don't forget to enter the promo code CJ10 for 10 Australian dollars free straight into your YouTrip wallet. Ooh, chilly air. I don't know what's underneath me, I'm just gonna not think about it.
Hundreds of meters of ice.
I hope so, because it's like slushy on top. Wow, this is crazy, and don't they just look so cool? They look incredible. This is crazy. On a glacier, oh my God.
Well, this is pretty spectacular. Once in a lifetime activity, go and walk on a glacier. This is one of the only places in the world where you can get onto an Ice Explorer bus, drive onto a glacier and walk onto a glacier. I don't think this is going to be here for very much longer.
That's sad.
It's receding. We're going into a warming period. I think this glacier is like around 12,000 years old or something.
The tour guide said he'd tell us more about the future of the glacier later, but there's an area boundary, so there's only kind of like a it's not small, but a small-ish area where people can go for safety. Yeah. So over there's crazy crevices and oh my God.
You can actually hike on the glacier. There are companies down in the car park that will take you on full guided day hikes, and that is a separate thing to do. But if you want to just drive up here, walk on the glacier, then come up here on a Columbia Icefield Ice Explorer.
I'm gonna put my fingers in the glacier water. It is so clear. I think on a video I saw someone drinking the water, but oh my gosh. I'm glad I got my grippy shoes. Oh!
Is it cold?
Yeah, the fingers are numb. That is, yeah. Me and Corey have done a lot of ice baths, but that would, it's when it hurts the fingers. But it is so clear.
So we actually learned what a ice field is. I didn't know what an ice field was, but an ice field is only deemed an ice field if it feeds 2 or more glaciers. The Columbia Icefield up here feeds 6 glaciers, so it's quite a big one. But that's a whole new category of landmark that I've just learned about today.
The bluebirds that you can see behind me only came out this year, and that's their electric version. So they have like the traditional red ones and the modern blue ones, and we also have the little ones that go a bit further out. People walking on the ice from different tours. It is so cool here. And it's not too cold. The only thing I would recommend is that the wind here is very chilly because it comes down through the mountain. It has all the glacial coldness that goes into the air. So bring a beanie to cover those ears, but otherwise a jumper and definitely some waterproof shoes because it is quite slushy in areas.
Now it can get busy up here. This is probably about as busy as it gets, but as the tour buses come and go, you will have moments where there's less people here, maybe just 1 or 2 buses, but you can still get amazing views of all the waterfalls, the glacier, and the super clear glacial water. All right, we're back.
That was so cool.
So cool, what an experience.
I think I saw some people drinking it. I should have just asked to fill it, but I don't know. Some ancient bacteria infected me. Probably much cleaner than what we drink at the tap.
We're going slowly up the very steep gradient. It's pretty freaky.
A slow looking climb. He said that a lot of people do get nervous on this just because it's so steep and there's a little drop next to you. But he takes it really slow. And he says he does not talk. He has to concentrate. But we're going to go, the tour's not actually over. We're actually now going to go on a skywalk just to really increase my fear of heights today.
Testing and limits.
Yeah. Ooh. We're on the second part of the tour now. Once you come off the big Ice Explorer, you go onto another coach and they take you up to the skywalk itself. You can't drive and park here, you have to come with the coach. And then you take a walk along to the skywalk itself. We can see it's over there. It's quite high. I'm a little bit nervous, but I've done one of these before, done a couple of these types of things before. They are really impressive, and they said if you want to compare it for a safety headspace thing, those Explorers we were on, you have to put 3 of those Ice Explorers onto that. It can hold that much weight. So I think that hopefully all of us people are not going to be that heavy. We're nearly there. There's a lot of information on the way. Actually, I have to say I'm very impressed with all the tours we've been on so far in and around Jasper. All the tour guides are so informative and there's like loads of information. I love it when you go on tours and the tour guides are like that. Sometimes when you go on tours and you just don't get any information from the tour guide, it's like, what's the point? But these are really great. They had all the different animals you can spot in the area. They said that last month, I think, they spotted 2 grey wolves over there and they were all just freaking out. Imagine how awesome that would be. We haven't seen any wolves on our trip to Canada. I think it's pretty rare to see them. From here, you get a really good perspective of the Columbia Icefield. So if you look up there, you can see that massive chunk of ice on top of the mountain, like a massive slab thick of ice, up to 100 meters. Actually, this area still gets avalanches. The staff said, the tour guide said that even yesterday they had a massive thunder and it was an avalanche. So this whole landscape is constantly changing. The glacier is melting. It's melted a lot over the last century. And I think that this place or that glacier might be gone completely, enough for us to do stuff like this anywhere in the next 20, 30, 40 years. 280 meters above the valley floor we're going to be. Oof. And just 3 sheets of glass protecting me.
3 big sheets.
3 thick sheets. You don't have to wear little slippers though, like the Grand Canyon.
Come on, Shez. Show us how it's done.
Oh my God. Jesus. Does it sometimes like they have on the side like a little covered part that you can pretend that you're not on the glass? No, not here.
Yeah, it definitely has a little bit of a wobble to it just with the movement of people, but let's just trust the engineering. Let's trust the companies that built this. Wow, amazing view. All the way up Shunwapta Valley.
We were over there earlier. So I think this spot here, looking over to the glaciers, is the best view, but to get here you do have to walk a little bit on the glass and there's definitely a steep drop below you, but it's really cool. Definitely a must do. I think this is one of the top experiences we've done so far in the Rockies. This and walking on the glacier, bucket list.
I think the coolest part for me about this whole experience was seeing the glacier in action. The glacier is actually still moving. I think it's around about 3 centimeters per day. So you can see the action of the glacier in slow motion, but we've been seeing valleys around North America which have been carved out by glacier, but to see one actually live in action doing what it does is really incredible.
We're taking a walk around Jasper Town itself now. It's quite a small town, so you can walk around and there's a large RV free parking area nearby, which is awesome. They have a lot of eateries here and cafes, hiking stores. It's a really nice place to walk around, but obviously because they had the fire in 2024, there is a lot of rebuilding going on here. They are open as normal. I think tourism numbers are back to pre-fire figures, but the area has changed a lot because of the fire, that the landscape, and there's a lot of building work going on, but we're here to support the local Jasper economy.
Small town store vibes, eh?
Yeah, mountain store vibes. Look at that, sourdough focaccia. That's yummy. But we're in hiking country, of course, so I managed to find a bag very easily. A little shoulder hiking bag for our adventures.
If you need coffee while you're in town, I recommend this place right here, Andromeda. Very good coffee and a lovely vibe.
Jasper the bear. Oh, it's a bear?
Yeah.
Did you think it was a sloth?
Yeah.
It's Jasper the bear, the town's mascot. We didn't quite see the bear though, if it was a different animal.
Jasper Town is actually surrounded on all sides by mountains. There's literally mountains all around you. So no matter where you look or where you stay in town, you're going to have mountain views.
We're at Pyramid Lake underneath Pyramid Mountain, and this is a place you want to come to if you want a beach day in Jasper. The lake has little beachside areas. There's quite a few spots around here as well. So it's awesome if you want to go for a dip in summer, paddleboarding, or you just want to come down to like a beach experience for the kids. It's really cool that Jasper Town has this so close by.
This is actually such a beautiful spot to come down and watch the sunset at Pyramid Lake. You've got a view of the Pyramid Island as well as the huge Pyramid Mountain as well. Oh, so stunning, and you can just slip right in the water down here and jump in and cool off.
We're taking a walk to Pyramid Island, and this place is so scenic. They have this wooden bridge that crosses over Pyramid Lake. To the island, people are fishing, some people are swimming, and you just have a 360-degree view. It is beautiful.
It's so Canadian down at that lake. There's like 2 people standing in the water fishing, kayaks going past. The Canadian loon is singing in the background. It's like, can you get any more Canadian than that?
Well, what an amazing time we have had exploring Jasper. We have really loved this little area of the Canadian Rockies, one of our favourite places in North America. If you enjoyed this video, go check out these. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.